Nice Monarch, BSR Monarch, nice cream finish service. One thing that's happened, this arm here has been bent down, so you can't get it lifted off now. So hopefully I'll be able to bend that back up and it's not going to break. Nice PYE name there. Cartridge. Arm feels free. The deck's still rubbery, hasn't atrophied and gone all hard and horrible. Hopefully it's going to be not too difficult to just lubricate it up and make sure everything's working okay. Looking at this, I've taken the platter off, E-clip comes off. There's the thrust race plate goes on top of that thrust race. Looks like it's been greased sometime in the past. The grease still looking quite good in most of the parts. The motor rubbers, vibration rubbers, are still, 3 of them, still look in reasonable condition. The idler wheel here is still flexible, and the surface feels quite good. Might not have to grind that at all. I think one of the problems was, I think this just needs adjusting. The height apparently was not setting properly, so it's just a matter of just checking. You can adjust the height of this. It should have a grub screw or something somewhere, and the rest of it can clean it a bit more. It's looking quite nice. So this step part, the grub screws are actually loose, so it could just pull up and down, and it's that there. It's got 2 grub screws and 3 step parts, and it was right down, so it's a matter of just setting it into position. Can't do it with one hand very easily, and so that's a 78 position. He runs on this big one here, so you see the grub screws are easy to get to now, so I'll be tightening them up onto that shaft and adjusting it, and then move on to just checking out the rest of this mechanism, and then spin it up. Finished this cream coloured BSR. I've also just adjusted the playing weight. It was very high. It's about 7 grams now, which is more sensible. And the set down point. So I just I've got it hooked up to my stereo, and I'll just turn on the power. 230, and we'll play this record on the pickup. It works on 78 as well on the other side. It's not a bad needle on 78, so turn it on. So you can, if there's no more records stacked up, you can reject on this, or it will reject, will reject normally when it gets to the middle. The set down point on there, if it's wrong, is just that screw there. Just wind it out a little bit, it moves it out or in, it will move it in. That's just the playing weight. I've adjusted that rather crude spring. So it's good. Obviously you need a record on for it to work. It doesn't have a manual position on here. This works fine. I'll just demonstrate that. And of course the this clicker thing works fine for different size records. So here's a 78 record. The clicker thing obviously will adjust it because it's only 10-inch, not a 12-inch like a full-size LP. So we turn it to 78 and turn it the needle over. Oops. I think I must have knocked the arm. There it goes, ultra high speed.
Bye-bye, baby, the honey, you're too high class. I bought myself a ticket, but you won't let me pass. The champagne and caviar are all very grand, but I prefer just rocking to a rock and roll band. If I enjoy it, the hopping and the cat and the hopping and the rocking and stopping me to wait and see. That thing I gotta do go, but on my dancing she's honey, I salute the blues, bye-bye, my baby.
So this one's working good. When it gets to the middle, it will auto. I'll try and do it slowly.
Let me on through to my class, baby. Baby, it's so high class. Don't be mean to me, baby. Baby, it's so high class. Don't be mean, baby.
It turns off when there's no more records. So this one's working really nice now, and quite a nice looking little deck. Another old BSR turntable in need of renovating. Sometimes I'm not sure it's worth the effort. I think there's arms been it looks like it's been bent down. I'm sure it should be horizontal. Got an old cartridge. Oh, fallen out. I took the clip off the middle. As usual, this turntable was atrophied, this rubber, and gone rock hard. Now the motor is supported normally. It's got these rubber grommets. They've atrophied, and the one under there, underneath, there's another pivot under there. I can feel the rubber underneath, it's just gone, fallen off. So they need new rubber supports against vibration, etc. The wheel hasn't is still flexible, which is good. If that had gone rock hard, that'd be impossible. The thrust race. And this seems solid, this mechanism here. This does move, though a bit stiffly, same with this. And this is stiff. Oh God, it's not really worth the effort. I don't know, I just don't know. I finally fixed this old BSR turntable. Took a lot of work, I mean hours, to uncork the mechanism, get it free and running. Replaced the terrible cartridge that was hanging out of it with quite a good cartridge now. It's a stereo one, wired in mono. This is playing the 78. Fixed the speed. The turntable mat, I've put a little bit of double-sided tape to hold it in place because it's so old and hard it was slipping, so it doesn't slip anymore. All the controls obviously work. I'll just show you. This is playing the 78. Sounds pretty good actually. 78 on here. I'll just clean this up a little bit more. All this was jammed. Fixed all that. Adjusted the arm, and the this had been bent down. I've straightened it as best as I can without snapping it off, and it's just not too bad now. I'll just raise this up. It's just coming to the end of the record. Quite a nice sound actually from this cartridge. It's a flip over cartridge, 78, and obviously modern records when it's flipped over the other side. Might need a small amount of adjustment. It's a bit worn. The set down pickup is a slightly variable, but and after it's been shaken up a bit in the post, it'll probably take a few goes to set itself. Now that plays again because I've got the arm up, and when there's, it selects a 45 single when there's nothing on there. So I'll just show you. We'll just reject that and I'll put that down. Oops. I'll just reject that. When this is down, it stops. I'll just show you it working. When this is up, it just flicks that for a 10-inch record. A 45 it'll miss it, and an LP it pushes it all the way down. It flicks the lever down and it puts it down. And every time when it gets to the middle, obviously, occasionally the mechanism doesn't work. The cable's a bit stretched, I think. When you lift this arm up, there's a cable that resets the mechanism. And just show you it stop at the end of the record. On 33 on the knob, so they all work. So there's the pickup, resets that, and sets down and turns off. I'll just show you a single. We did a single, we changed to 45, and away we go. And if you stack them up, another one will play. When it gets to the end, I've moved it a bit too fast, it will switch off. So that's it, best I can do. I say the mechanism, sometimes it won't autoplay. Just make sure this resets when you restart it. Flicks it up, and when this is fully down and no record on, it won't play. To get it to play, you can either lift this arm up like that out the way, and when the arm's up it will auto play. And if you leave it up, it will just keep playing, and if you obviously if you put it down, it will stop, so there's no more records. There's the cartridge I put in it, stereo wired as mono, with a changeover stylus, and I've done the 78. You can switch, you can have manual if you want and put the arm down. It's a bit difficult, it's got no arm lever to lift it up with. So, it's a bit messy. I'll try and clean it up a little bit more, but it's quite old and marked up. But it's best I can do.